Okay, John, Democrats have reportedly landed on their message for the midterm elections. According to Axios, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer has ordered his party this week to adopt a laser focus on affordability in order to counter President Trump and Republicans. With us now is Democratic strategist and author Melissa DeRosa and National Review columnist Caroline Downey. Welcome to you both.
Thanks for having me.
Okay. If you know me, you know I'm talking about this all day long right now. I just talked your ear off at the commercial break. There seems to be an issue with the way Republicans are handling this affordability issue, which the polling shows it is an issue for voters. Whether you think prices are up or not, people are saying that they're struggling with affordability. Are Republicans, from your view, getting this right?
No, it's very simple. All they have to say is, look, inflation has tempered. Yes, some things are still inaccessible to the American people, but a lot of them might be luxury goods compared to what previous generations thought. But beyond that, if there is an affordability crisis, a cost of living crisis, that was created by the Democrats' reckless fiscal spending policies under the Biden administration. However, you have to give the Democrats credit for conveniently changing the subject to affordability after years of pushing toxic cultural issues, DEI, putting men in women's sports. But the problem is that this is a superficial fix for them if they do not moderate as a party more generally. If they want to be competitive in places like Ohio and Florida, they're going to have to convince their upstarts and rising stars like Mamdani and Graham Plattner in Maine to move to the center beyond things just affordability. I mean, Graham Plattner said that the police are terrible. He said that rural voters in Maine are racist and stupid. I don't think affordability is enough for them.
But perhaps, Melissa, the struggle with Republicans is to remind voters that these prices ran up under the last administration. I mean, we saw record high inflation. The prices ran up under the last administration under those Democrat policies. Perhaps J.D. Vance, the vice president, has the best messaging on this so far. Talking about affordability, he said this. I think what the president's saying is the idea that, and he's obviously responding to this idea that this is just a hoax, what people are feeling. 11 months into the administration, that we could solve all of the affordability problems created by Democrats. I mean, that's the hoax, J.D. Vance says. The hoax is the idea that it's our fault and not the Democrats' fault. And I do think that's a totally bull narrative, I guess is what he said.
Look, I think that the issue...
Bull bleep, I should say.
I think that the issue is that Republicans are in charge of the White House. They've got both chambers of Congress. And we live in a time where not only is the electorate incredibly volatile, but we are incredibly impatient. As Americans, you can get same-day delivery on Amazon. Your average watch of a TikTok video is 14 seconds. No one wants to read beyond 120 characters. So it's always, what have you done for me lately? And yes, Trump has only been in office for 11 months, but it doesn't matter. There was a poll out yesterday, 46% of Americans say that it's never been harder to make ends meet in this country. Now, is that based in actual realities and statistics? No, there's a lot of economic indicators that are positive, but that is the way the voters are feeling, so you have to deal with that right now. And if 2025 elections are any indicator, the Republicans have to come up with a better way to take credit for some of the things they have done, like gas prices
and cut inflation in half, by the way, from where it was during the Biden administration.
And also meet voters where they are and say, we understand these are certain things you're struggling with. Here's a realistic timeline for how we're going to tackle it, and you're going to see change.
And also, Republicans could take the moment to remind voters that affordability is about your ability to afford the things that you need based on your income and wages. And income and wages are going up. We got another report this morning that shows that incomes are going up in the United States. Here's how Kevin Hassett puts it, blaming the previous administration. Listen.
We understand why people are still frustrated. A typical person buying a home saw their monthly mortgage payment go up by more than $1,000. Grocery prices, a typical family's grocery bag went from about $400 to $525 a month. And so all that happened under Joe Biden. And now we're getting inflation under control. We're getting wage growth to grow again. We're making progress, but it's going to take a little bit more time.
And there's been an acknowledgement that, historically speaking, it is difficult to get prices down. But you can slow inflation, which this administration has done. Also, if you talk to Larry Kudlow, our good friend, he will say focus on wage growth. focus on income, because as long as those are going up, you can afford more of those goods, even if the prices stay the same or even go up a bit.
Absolutely, and you're right that prices can be stubborn, but I think Republicans would be smart to market affordability to their advantage by also saying it's mobility and setting up your kids for a better future, improving your station in life for the future generations. And the Trump administration is getting creative with this, with the Trump savings accounts, $1,000 for kids born between 2025 and 2028, and assuming 7% annual return.
Plus $250 thanks to the Dell contribution.
100% using private donors, blending the private sector and the public sector. Those kids who grow up could end up affording college, no problem. No student loan debt. That's another thing that's sensitive for young voters, especially in both parties. So the Trump administration is thinking outside the box here. It's not just about inflation. It's about how do we help kids build wealth so that when they're their parents' age, maybe they can afford a home. Maybe they can get a degree.
Final thought from you?
No, listen, live by the sword, die by the sword. And Trump was elected into office on the affordability message, so you can't blame Democrats for taking advantage of how the American public feels. But if the Republicans want any hope of holding on to the House in the midterms, they're going to have to get better at message discipline. They're going to have to get better explaining what these things are. And again, what they're going to do in the next 6-8 months and how it's going to change people's lives realistically on a realistic timeline.
Gas prices down is going to help. I can tell you that much. Right after I did that segment with the Secretary of Energy, John and I had him on last hour, everybody shot me the screenshots of their gas prices, and they are going down, thankfully, and people appreciate that. Thanks to both of you. Enjoyed the discussion.
Thank you.
All right, John?
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.